What's going on, Wes? Let me know if you got a copy on my mic. Oh man, let's see. All right, working class hustlers of America and all across the globe. It's your main man Horace, also known as La Machine, and we gonna get to it. What am I talking about? So, in the title of this video, um, we're gonna be going to the forums real quick, and we're talking about Amazon starting its capacity limits apparently in May. Now, you guys know I'm not a big FBA guy. Um, One of the major things that I did to literally increase my revenue, I doubled my revenue. I got away from FBA. I got the receipts, guys. I've been teaching how to do this right here on this channel since 20 um 17, and you can go back. I was 100% FBA. That's what I taught, that's what I did, that's what I advocated for, that is what I recommended. I bought into it. FBA this, FBA that. FBA does everything. Once you send the inventory in, Amazon takes care of everything. This is how you can scale, right? Scaling is a buzzword online, on social and stuff. Scale, 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 right? Let Amazon do everything. That way you can work on the business and not in the business, right? Right? Isn't that how that goes? Yeah, well, there's a trade off. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't do FBA, but we're going to highlight some of the differences today because differences can make a huge difference in your business. You know, there's a couple of things that I push for you to get your numbers up. If you're not doing 20, 30, 40,000 a month, that's the level that I'm on, and that is how I define success right now. If you're beyond that, that's great. This may not even be for you. But I'm always looking for that person that's maybe 2, 3, 5 steps behind me and can use me as a springboard, can use me to learn some lessons, that can use me to get some free game and level up. Okay. Guys, make sure you take advantage of everything that we got out here. Look down in the description. Make sure you give a like for the algorithm, share, subscribe, and there's all sorts of things in there, guys. You already know, but I'll go over it real quick. Number one, if you need any help, text the words "working class hustler" to the number on your screen, and for absolutely nothing, I will respond just as soon as I can. You guys know I work a regular full-time job in addition to my Amazon business, so it may take me a little bit, but I promise you will not be ignored. I will get to you. It costs you absolutely nothing if you just need some tips, if you need some tricks, if you want some advice, if you just want someone that may be a little bit ahead of you that you can bounce your ideas off. I'm here for that. In fact, it would give me ultimate joy to be able to do that for you. Make sure you sign up for the Snackfood Symposium. It's my free webinar that shows how I actually, where I concentrate. I concentrate my business, which is the snack food industry. If you look at I show my numbers a lot. So excuse me if you really don't want to see that, but You look at the last 30 days, 37,800. If we switch that so we can just see what I have done for the month of April, you can see 37,800. And that's because we're at the 30th. So when I switch from this month to 30 days, it's literally right. It's spot on. If you look at the last 12 months, that means you take this month and you go back 12. You've got $243,400. But if you just want to look at this year, you would go year to date and you would see $120,000, almost $121,000. And I mean, I don't tell you that to impress you, but to impress upon you that you can do this. Guys, let's be clear. I work a full-time job and I am looking to attract those who want to work their job and have additional income. Everybody loves talking about additional income streams, additional income streams. That's the cool thing to talk about. Then you got to get cool and do it, right? You got to get cool and do it. You got to get to the action. Make sure you sign up for the Tactical Arbitrage free course. Yes, we are continuing to build out on that. Just get in, because every single item that you get in the entire Three Coat Seller 365 suite, we will be teaching. So get in now. That way you're ready. And it's absolutely free, built out course. So let's talk about these capacity limits. I'm going to share my screen. So I'm just going to kind of read this. I was in the forums. Now, this is from 2 days ago, but it's fairly recent. Before we get started, who we got out here? Mark Prevails says, I did FBM during Q4. I'm back, going to start back, but with snacks. I never thought about it, but I find toys, retail arbitrage. Cool. And thank you so much for subbing, man. I really need you. I appreciate your support. Yo, that's what's up. So let's get started in the forums. Like I was saying, 2 days ago, somebody posted capacity limits starting in May. This is what it says. Completely without warning, Amazon has just slashed our FBA capacity limits. We were cut to where we now only have about 30% of the storage space that we were given for April. Oh my God. That he's saying he estimates they took 70% of his storage. We will now be over capacity in May by, again, about 30%. Amazon has given us just days to warn us. Let me get my big head out of here. Maybe you could. Well, no, I'm not covering nothing just yet. I'm going to move my head anyway. Amazon has given us just days to warn us that not only can we not send anything else in, we have to remove 30% of what we have already sent to Amazon. This is insane. 2025 is absolutely the worst year I have ever experienced on Amazon in the 13 years I've been selling here. See, this is where I start preaching to you. This is where the organist gets going. And this is where I start hooping and hollering. But I'm going to maintain. I'm going to try to maintain, because I know you didn't come here to get preached to. Monkey Smoke says, selling FBA this year seems like you are in an endless boxing fight, and Amazon keeps hitting gut shots nonstop. And you know, guys, you got to understand, I'm not hating. Like I said, I got receipts on this channel. I got receipts that go back to 2017. We're not gonna play this game. Who is La Machine? Who is this guy? Where did he pop up with? And is this cap? Nope, nope, nope. I got my receipts. I was 100% FBA when I started. Call myself showing you what I'm doing. My whole journey has been documented. So when I tell you I doubled my revenue, you have to understand. Here's what happened, guys. I really switched the majority of my business model to merchant fulfill back in 2022. So here's what I'm telling you, and I really try to get this to you. It's so important. Guys, there's no way around this. You have to put the time in, and I can't tell you exactly what's the way it's going to play out for you. You gonna figure that out on the way, but you've got to be thinking. You got to listen to what I'm saying, and you really have to internalize this. You really have to put this into perspective. If I'm telling you that this year, 2025, I literally doubled the levels of revenue that I'm generating, and I did it through merchant fulfilled, the merchant fulfilled business model. But I started shifting to merchant fulfilled primarily. I started that shift in 2022, 3, 4. It took like 3 years for me to really get that system down. Now, you don't have to take that long. I made my mistakes. We all learn from mistakes, but it don't have to be from your own mistakes. You can learn from mine. But I'm not going to tell you, you don't even know the right questions to ask. You know, when they talk about you don't know what you don't know, I can sit you down with any millionaire. You know, back in my day, they used to say, well, if you could take a millionaire out to lunch, you don't even know what to ask him. Guys, oh my God. See what I'm saying, Monkey Smoke? That's my point. I have been fulfilled by merchant heavy, so it doesn't affect me much. Listen, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't do FBA. I'm not telling you that there are no benefits to FBA. I'm telling you, you need to weigh the pros and the cons between both. There are cons to doing merchant fulfill. But what, see, you get in life what you settle for. So I was more willing to settle for the cons on the merchant fulfill side. And here's the reason why. The reason why is because on the merchant fulfill side, it boils down to one word: control. When you do merchant fulfill, you control your inventory. Once you want to do FBA, that's beautiful. But once that inventory leaves your facility, your house, wherever you got it, the manufacturer, the wholesaler, I don't care where it came from. Once it leaves, you have no control. From the time it gets on that UPS truck or whatever truck, you can't control what happens. You don't know if it's going to get lost. You don't know how long it's going to take for them to inventory it. You don't have control over how much time it takes from the time they start receiving it to the time it's available and ready for sale. You don't have any control over whether or not they misplace things, lose things, steal things. You don't have any control over Amazon's looking at the product and then they decide, you know what? No, you can't sell this. You can't sell it. So now it's sitting here. Oh yeah, you gonna pay your storage fee. You can't sell it. So now that money's tied up. Mind you, from the time that inventory got out of your control, remember I was saying this out of your control, all that time, your money is tied up in that. Baby, by the time you did all that prepping and getting the product out of your control and waiting. I've already sold that. I'm closer to the bag because Amazon is a cash flow business. You're waiting 2 weeks just to get paid. I'm closer to the bag because by the time you did all that, I'm closer to getting that money back in the settlement. You see what I'm saying? Monkey Smoke says doing FBA leaves you in a back foot. Since Amazon can clip the listing and then you have to wait for Amazon to send you back everything in 100 packages and a bunch of return fees. And like I said, I'm not telling you don't do it. It's great. Listen, guys, I am not trying to steal your joy. I'm really not. I understand. You're talking about a 55-and-a-half-year-old man. I've been around. And I'm not trying to hate on you because I get it. When you're thinking, I don't have to do all this. All I got to do is send all this inventory to Amazon, and Amazon does everything. That's a good feeling. What's the value of a good feeling? That's right. It's priceless. I don't want to take that from you. But on the other side, now you got to deal with the reality. After you're done with your good feelings, and I don't want to take that from you. It's nice to feel like a boss. It's nice to look at me and go, look at this fool. He doing all that work, all that boxing and this and that. Okay, that's cool. You're right. But then when this happens, now you want to say it's the absolute worst year you have ever experienced on Amazon in the 13 years that you've been selling here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at what you're doing. And you know what else we're going to look at? Now we're going to look at what I'm doing. And I'm not trying to front, but if we're going to look at what you're doing, well, now we're going to look at what I'm doing. We're going to look at what I'm doing. Maybe you should think about it. Because when we go into my business reports, actually, you know what? We're gonna do it even well. Nah, I was gonna go into my 1099s, but I'll do that another time. You guys, if you want to look at my 1099s, I got videos that break that down. And that's just the way I like to do it, guys. You following people and they ain't never showed you a 1099. I want you to take a moment right now and I want you to think about that. And think about all the BS that they're going to tell you, because they got all kinds of scripted reasons why they can't show you their numbers. Oh, that's not kosher or this or that. Okay, well, then quit trying to sell me your $3,000 course if you can't even show me your 1099. But that's something you got to ask yourself. I can't. Mark Prevail says, I just got my 7-day period back. I used to not get paid for 14 days in Amazon because I had a couple of. That's beautiful, man. I don't even have a 7-day period. I got 2 weeks. Okay, so you're doing better than me. And let's just look at. We're going to look at year to date. Hold on a second. This last year, yeah. Okay, so let me show my screen. So that's last year. So, right, I took last year away. Now we're just looking at this year. Last year, I did 186,000 for the whole doggone year, 7,197 units. This year, I'm at 120 almost 121 in just 4 months. I'm only 2,000 units away from what I did in the whole year last year. Now watch this. I'm gonna get rid of this year. We're just gonna look at last year. And you can see each month 16.4, 15.6, 15.7, 15.5, 15.9, 15.5, 16.4, drop down to 10,984, drop down to 9,757. You see what I'm saying? Then we jumped up in October to 17.2, dropped down to 14.9 in November. And then watch what happens. December, we went up to 21.6. And I was like, okay, that's Christmas time, right? But look at what kept happening. Look at this graph right here. Okay. Now, mind you, we went 21.6 for December, January 22.3, February 26.5, March 34.1, and now here we are, and this ain't over just yet. 37. We went from 34 to 37. That's probably going to end at 38. My point is this, guys. My point is this. I'm out here to help you and mostly encourage. If you really want to help, you would just call me. Very few people do that, and that's okay. I love that. I love that because every day when I look in the mirror, I'm looking in the mirror as a person that has been out here. I laugh. I've been out here since 2017 and ain't even got 10,000 subscribers. And who knows? I may never have it, but that's the thing. I keep coming back anyway. And I think I get more out of it then. Because then I know when you're not around, when it's just me looking in the mirror and I'm saying, why do I do this? Well, one thing we know, it ain't for the money, it ain't for the fame. So it's got to be just me wanting to help whoever I can help. Okay. Mark Pavel says, damn. But let's go back to that article because I think some other people may have weighed in. Who else says something? Somebody chimed in, this Lee's movies or Lee S movies. Yes, this happened to us too. We had 452 cubic feet in April, and suddenly it was cut by 75% down to 129 cubic feet for May, and even less in June and July. What in the world? What in the world is going on? We only used 24% of our limit this month, and certainly we are at 90% capacity. How are we going to ship new inventory? Sales went down, but not by that much, more like about 20% decrease from March. So we are getting hit with low inventory fees for not having enough. And now our capacity is slashed by 75% without warning or reason. I sell 8,000 units a year on here. How am I supposed to keep items stocked and do business with massive cuts like this? Do they want people to stop shipping our stuff to FBA entirely? Headache and micromanaged inventory doesn't even begin to cover this. Now, Lee S movies wouldn't like me. Number one, I don't even do those kind of numbers, right? I mean, well, I guess I'm in the ballpark. He said he's shipping 8,000 units. I did 7,100 last year, and I'm going to pass that. Yeah, I guess I'm in the ballpark. But I would tell Lee S movies, well, you're going to have to start doing merchant fulfilled. They can't stop you from doing merchant fulfilled, can they? Figure it out. But, I'm sure he wouldn't want to hear that. So, what can I say? I would say, guys, especially for the people who are trying to do what I ended up doing, for the people who want to double their current revenue, you need speed and you need control, and you are not going to get that with FBA right now. So there's that, guys. Monkey Smoke says FBM gives you that. Absolutely. Well, I'm not going to be on here that long. I do want to take a moment just to show something, because I don't know if I had the time. I'm going to take just a minute. And inside of Seller Central, we're looking at FBA capacity limits. And this is the standard kind of boilerplate they give. FBA capacity limits help us manage unexpected surges on demand and supply chain disruptions so that we can run our fulfillment network efficiently and get your products to customers faster. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Look at this. How capacity limits are set. You'll receive one capacity limit for each storage type per month. And then it's kind of interesting if you look at it. Individual selling accounts have a capacity limit of 15 cubic feet. This limit doesn't change and is not eligible to be increased. But we don't have individual selling accounts. We got professional accounts. And if that professional account has been active in FBA for less than 39 weeks, you don't get capacity limits. This allows you to establish your FBA sales record without limits so that we can determine how much capacity your FBA business needs, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you've been active for more than 39 weeks, then you get your limits based on IPI scores and sales performance. Sellers who with consistently higher IPI scores receive higher capacity limits, adjusted for sales volume and available capacity. What is that? Okay. Now, check this out. If you'd like more capacity for your products that your confident customers will buy, you can use Capacity Manager to request an increase to your capacity limits. In those two examples that we looked in the forums, I didn't see them mention that they actually requested an increase in their capacities. Here's how it works. Tell us how much additional capacity you want and when. Limit increases can be requested in monthly increments for any future period in which you have a capacity limit or estimated capacity limit. The maximum amount that you may request in a given storage type and period will vary based on available capacity in our networks. Yeah, and on it goes. You guys can figure that out if you want to get into that. I got to get going. We got a couple more comments. Mark Prevail says, I'm in college. I have an associates in business administration, looking for my BA. I might know data analyst, so I can learn something to help. Absolutely. Keep up the good work. And finally, Monkey Smoke says, I was doing FBA for a while and I got burnt on it like 2 years ago. And I never went back. Long check-in time. See what I'm saying? Just rather than just sell ASAP and then have to wait like 2 months. See, that's crazy. All right, guys, that's it for today. I got my private group I got to go get with right now. So let me take a look real quick just to see what's going on. Yeah, so anybody out here who's part of the private group, meet me on over there. Let's get to the bag. I got something I got to show you guys you're going to love. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see if I can get out here tomorrow, even though I got to work tomorrow, but that never stops me. I'm a no excuse type brother. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Thanks a lot, Monkey Smoke. Appreciate it, man. La Machine, I'm out.